Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Mr. Fred and Friends. I got a pretty good show for you tonight. I've got some great people on. I got to say hi to Mark Gong. Now, Paul Farrell is usually the first. Either him or Ryan are the first ones that jump in. But I got to be honest. Mark Gong was the first one to jump in tonight. Mark, I got to tell you, Paul Farrell, you finally beat him. I didn't think anybody could ever do that. Matthew Lund, how you doing this evening? Appreciate it. We've got a great show tonight. We're going to be talking to Eugene Lazos. Yeah, see, Bill, I did it. Bill was laughing at me. I was trying to pronounce Lazos correctly, and I finally got it down. So, anyhow, we're going to have Eugene Lazos. He has a podcast, Behind the Mask, and we're going to have him on here later on. And we're going to, ask him some questions. I've got my buddy, my co-host, William Bailey, and I got my very good buddy and good friend from a long time, Mr. Bud Orr. We're going to be talking to these guys here in a little bit. But first, there's a few things I want to mention. I'm also going to have Scott McDonald and his buddy Dom on tonight. Okay, I wasn't going to say it, but they call him Trixie. Now we're going to have to ask Dom, why do they call you Trixie? Okay, so that story is going to be coming up here pretty quick. Okay, Scott's he's kind of spearheading the Young Guns. It's a team they put together with his son Graylin, and it's actually pretty cool. And he's been working on putting together a raffle to buy them, jerseys and get the things that kids normally can't afford, And Scott's been going kind of full blast on it here, along with the other parents. The other parents of the Young Guns are starting to jump in really, really good. And I think it's pretty cool. And they're going to put this together because they're going to go down to Cup. That's the NXL, and that's in November. So I'm looking forward to go down there and watch them all. And actually, I'm going to go watch them. I'll give a shout out here real quick because this coming weekend, they're going to be playing at King of the Ranch. Now, King of the Ranch, it's in Rancho Cordova. It's going to be Saturday and Sunday. It's a great tournament. And it was started by Anthony Portola and his two sons, Hunter and Eric. But since then, he's had other people jump in, and they've really made it something now. It's an absolutely terrific little series that they're putting together. And it's got a few people. It's got Micah McLaughlin. He has Davis Paintball. And it's got Aaron and Holly Smith. They have Midway Paintball. And the Gongs, obviously. Mark Gong, I can never say enough about Mark Gong. I could talk about Mark Gong through the whole show and into tomorrow. He has nothing but total respect for me. And he's had this respect for years. This isn't something that Mark just, grabbed out of the blue. Mark's been working on this for a long time. He's a lot of fun. His kids are terrific. And what he does for paintball is very, very good. Proud to call him a friend. Really, really am. So, and then I also have to mention, obviously, we're going to do the WCPL. And it's going to be in St. Louis in October 15th through 17th. And it's at Gateway Paintball. And I am really looking forward to that. I got all my friends flying in, Bud's flying. Just everybody's going to be there. It's going to be just such a cool happening. I cannot wait to go do that. And I got Jeff Thompson from up in Canada watching us tonight. How you doing, Jeff? And Mean Gene from Mean Gene, autocockerparts.com down in Southern California. If you're looking for autococker parts, Mean Gene's the place to go. The guy has everything. And plus, he's cool, too. Why do you call him Mean Gene? I don't know at all. I've hung with the guy, and he smiles all the time. So I don't know what the deal Mean Gene is, It's got to be from one of his girlfriends or something. That's all I can think of. So anyhow, let me get my shout-outs here real quick because I want to... I want to bring out Scott and Trixie. God, I don't know if I can handle that. Anyhow, I want to bring out Scott and Dom. Anyhow, we're going to find out where this Trixie thing comes from. Okay, we're going to find out. I got to know. I was going to let it go, but like Bill says, sometimes I just can't let stuff go. It's just how it is. Speaking of Bill, let me drag him out here real quick. Please, everybody, welcome Mr. William Bailey. What's going on, Billy?
It's another cool day in Missouri, freezing to death.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Rub the salt in the wound.
It's 81 degrees.
Yeah, he is saying that because where we were today, it's actually cooler today. It was only 103, 105 where Bud was down there, but we had 105 yesterday.
And I've got all the electrical power I want to use.
You know what? I've got a generator set up, but if my power kicks off before the generator kicks on, everything shuts down. So I'll lose the whole show if that happens. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But
We rarely have that happen here in Missouri. We
yeah,
never lose power.
yeah. Well, Bill, it was nice talking to you. So anyhow, remember what I told you, Bill?
Oh,
No teasing.
that's
But
awesome.
Bud can't take it. I don't like it. I got Bud's back. He doesn't like being teased about the heat. So anyhow, let me give my shout outs real quick here because Bill, I want to bring out Scott McDonald. He's working with the Young Guns. Matter of fact, I believe you're going to go ahead and donate one of your Make Paintball Great Again shirts, right?
Yes,
Yep.
yes, I am.
And you're going to do what I'm doing with the shirt that I'm sending to Bud and to Tim to sign. Is we'll just hang on it, and whoever wins it, we'll send it to them.
Yeah, that way they can get the size they really want to. They don't get stuck with a triple X.
Yeah, between that and $8,000 in postage, it all works out, I guess. So anyhow, let me give my shout outs real quick so we can get these guys out here. And we've got Bud sitting in the wings too, I mean, what better guest can you have than Bud Orr? Come on.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, maybe his wife, Kathy. Okay, I'll go with that. But Bud's second. Love having Bud on. So let me give my shout outs real quick. I give these shout outs every week, everybody, because these are the guys to me that worked extremely hard when paintball was, in its infancy isn't even a word for it. There was no fields, there was no stores to go buy this stuff. People hated you because they thought you were a warmonger. So these guys that I mentioned worked very, very hard, not just with their money, with their time, their effort. Just a considerable amount of time and effort it took back in the day. And we all worked really hard at it. So that's why I mention them every week. So real quick, Mr. Tim Schloss has Tiger Stripe Camouflage. Tim is still my sponsor today. He was my sponsor back in 88 or something like that. Long time. Tim has Gateway Paintball in St. Louis, and Tim has the last of the WCPL tournaments this year. And him and Bill have been working on this place, and Bill put some pictures out there. It's just outstanding. Bill, every time you see the picture, though, you always take pictures of Tim standing. Is there a reason for that? Or,
he's a good stander.
Oh, okay. I was just confused. I just needed to know because I know he moves around, but he's always standing there. So
no, he's a one-man army. He gets a lot done.
Oh, so he's the pointer. Do this, do that.
He's a doer too.
Oh, is he? Oh, cool.
He knows we got to get a couple hours in before we go hit Lion's Choice and get roast beef sandwiches. So
yeah, and then I hear after that it goes south. But anyhow,
well, then you gotta have a nap. That's just common. Everywhere does that.
There you go. And then I got to mention Dan and John Colby, Immortal Air now. They were Air America back in the days. They've been my sponsors for 32 years, still sponsored by them today. There's a lot of air systems out there, but, I've seen the time, the effort that Danny puts into these systems, and it's incredible. Absolutely love you. I got a couple of them too. Those are keepers. Those haven't been around for years, my friend.
Yeah, it's still got everything in them.
Yeah, Air America, absolutely. So anyhow, Dan and John Colby, Immortal Air. And then Bud Orr. Okay, I'm having Bud on tonight. All I really got to do is say Bud's name. I don't have to get into anything with Bud Orr. If you don't know Bud Orr, you're two things. You're either born under a rock or you live somewhere off this earth. Because anybody that's in paintball knows Bud Orr and what Bud's done over the years for paintball. And what Bud is still doing for paintball. Hey, Andy Starrett's watching tonight. What's going on, Andy? Hey, real quick, Andy's wife wrote a book, and it's going to be on Amazon and on a bunch of different places. Get a hold of Andy, bug Andy. Andy likes people bugging him. So anyhow, Andy's wife, I think her name is Trish, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I didn't just blow this, Andy. But anyhow, yeah, you get a chance, check out her book. Remember, if everybody jumps on, it'll be a #1 bestseller. So let's give him a hand. Okay? Andy Strett's wife. Terrific book. If you get a chance, check it out. All right? And it's there on Amazon. I already said that, Andy. That was a shameless plug, Andy. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah. I love Andy. I like messing with the guy. Anyhow, and Bonchick's on. Hey, Bonchick, how you doing this evening, dear? Very, very cool. And then I guess I had Tom K. Tom K was my second marker sponsor for years and years. Airgun Designs, shooting the Automag, terrific marker. Rainey and Juvie Boucher. Rainey and Juvie Boucher had Paintball News back in the day, and I wish all the kids out there today could have just seen this paper. You could go out to your field 2 times a week and pick up this paper. It didn't cost you a penny. You could go out and pick up this paper. It had what just happened, what was coming up, where all the fields were located. I mean, and it just was, it had everything in it. It was absolutely terrific. I was honored enough to be, there you go, right there. That's it. See, Bill's still reading the darn thing. That's pretty cool, Bill. That's probably the same paper from back in the day, too.
This is July 28th, 2001.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I was a West Coast editor for them for years. Absolutely loved it. And anyhow, and then Randy Camilla. Randy Camilla gave me my first cover shot. He was the editor for APG magazine back in the day. And I know we got the digital magazines now, but I got to be honest with you. I don't know how you feel, Bill, but I really miss the paper magazines.
Yeah.
That was exciting to go get one every month when they came out. And
I just waited, grocery stores, and you just ran in there and grabbed the next one.
I know. Yep. And then Jerry Braun. Jerry Braun had Paintball Sport magazine back in the day, and Jerry Braun has Paintball Sports Field in Newburgh, New York right now. Terrific field. One of the best fields out there. But I got to be honest with you. You have to go see Tim Schloss's field. It will blow you away. It is that good. It is. It's got like 15 different fields on it, and it's absolutely cool.
There's a lot.
Very, very cool.
Two fields no one's even been on yet.
I know it. Yep. And I got to say, go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Designed just for the WCPL tournament.
I seen the pictures. I seen the new parking lot and everything he made just for the WCPL too. Very cool. Yeah. And then I got to say hi to Ross Alexander. Ross Alexander was my very first marker sponsor. Actually, I still have my Bushmaster that I played my first. There you go. I played my very first professional tournament as a professional team, 15-man team. I still have that same marker. Absolutely love it. Now I say hi to Jim Lively. Two tournaments he wanted to do back in the day. One was Jim Lively's Masters. The other was Jerry Braun's World Cup. Because when you went to these, you just absolutely knew everybody that was anybody was going to be there. And it was like a big family reunion. Absolutely loved it. I got a Caesar sent the large pizza. Hey, real quick, everybody. Caesar Pizzol, he has Ultra Silk. I use it in all my markers. You put Ultra Silk in your marker, and it just absolutely hums. It is one of the best treatments that you can do for any marker. It is absolutely great. Am I right, Billy?
Yep.
It is just incredible.
Tournaments, every one of them.
Yep. Anyhow, he just bought a pizzeria up there in Michigan.
Yep.
Now, that's what Caesar needed, is a pizzeria. So I know you're listening, Caesar. Anyhow, I think he could have got by with just the Ultra Silk, but I'm so happy that he got the pizzeria. And he told me, hey, Billy said, anytime we come up there, free pizza all the time we're there. So I'm planning a month. I don't know about you. So, he's gonna be throwing me up.
Too far.
There you go. And then I can say hi to Gino from Belkin. Everybody knows Gino's a big guy. He does an awful lot for paintball that everybody doesn't see. That's where I'm blessed, is I get to be on this inner circle of this bunch of cool guys. And Gino does an awful lot of stuff. He's the one that turned me on to Bill and I to help Tracy Perez, which I think Tracy's back in ICU again. So, prayers go out to Tracy. I just want you to get better, sweetheart. That's all there is to it. And then I say hi to my two little buddies, which are the Young Guns. These are the guys that actually got me going. Well, I guess Mark got me going in it, Mark Gong. But Mark Gong Jr. and Jaden Gong, his two sons, are just terrific kids. They're screamers on the field. They're incredibly good players. But off the field, they're just the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet. They're terrific. So I have to mention them along with these greats that I mention every week. So now, without further ado, here we go. This is going to be good. I want to bring up Scott McDonald. Oh, God. Do I say it? Do I say Trixie? Do I? Yeah. I'm going to bring up Scott McDonald and Trixie. We're going to hear the story on the Trixie thing because Dom is what I would like to call him, but we'll see what happens here. So please, everybody, welcome Scott McDonald and Dom. How you guys doing this evening, man?
Oh, we're doing fantastic, Fred, Bill. Good to see you guys. You say hi?
What's up?
What's up? He's like, you're gonna make fun of me?
Okay. Hey, Dom, you guys told me when we were in the green room ahead of time about the Trixie name. Okay, I got to know now. I had to mention I was going to let it go, but I don't know what happens. Sometimes I just can't let anything go. And this is going to be one of them. So maybe you can give us a quick story. How'd you pick up the name Trixie?
We have friends from Washington, and they come down every summer, and it's kind of fun to hang out with them. And we get like duos because I have siblings also, and it's pretty fun to just like hang out and chill with them. And they just gave me the name Trixie just out of nowhere, and I've had it for about a year now.
Nice.
Oh wow! Do these people like you? I'm just kidding.
Who is it that gave you the nickname?
It was all three of them. They all gave me the nickname.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's pretty cool. Look at Johnny Cash. He grew up with the name Sue, and that made him pretty tough. So
yeah,
yeah, that's probably a little before your time, Dom.
Yeah.
Dom,
I'll educate him.
Yeah, there you go. We're going to get to Scott here in a few minutes, but Dom, I know you love paintball, but tell me, how did you get started? What got you going in paintball?
It was a couple months ago, where my friend took me to Playland 707 for the first time, and I played, and it was actually a lot of fun, so I just kept going.
You played a tournament?
Obviously you like it, right?
Yeah.
So was that a tournament? The first time you played was in a tournament?
No.
Oh, just
no, it's just a walk-on. Yeah, just a walk-on thing.
Okay.
He played like at a birthday party, and then like 2 weeks later, they went by the shop and he bought his own marker. And then the guy that works at the shop was like, you need to find Scott at the field, the young guns. And his dad came walking up to us out of nowhere. And we're like, are you Scott? And I was like, I am. And that's when we met Trixie.
Look at you, Scott. His son Graylin, which is on tonight. Graylin's a great kid. Another kid that I'm really proud to know. You could probably take lessons from your son. He's really a great kid. I'm talking to you, Scott. But anyhow, Scott, you didn't know much about paintball till Graylin really got into it, and now you're into it with both feet.
I'm up here over my head.
Yeah,
I have dove into the deep end, Fred.
Yeah, but you're doing a good job, though. You're to get the youngsters to really enjoy paintball and stay with paintball. Now that's a big thing. You can enjoy something for a week and then get sick of it. But you gotta make them enjoy and want to really be something. And I know Graylin. Graylin has his sights set on being a pro, and if he keeps going like he is now, he's going to be terrific in the future. But he got his start from you.
Oh no, he kicked off into playing paintball in February, so a few months before Dom, and practices every Saturday, Sunday, first at the gate, like just so many qualities that shows that he's just trying to get after it. And I'm super proud of him. I'm super proud of Dom. In the coming weeks, months, years, you're going to learn who all of them are because we're going hard and we're headed to the World Cup.
There you go. Yeah. Graylin, when I first met him face to face, just a very polite, very good kid. You have to be proud of him, period. He's just a terrific kid. He's going to be a heck of a player, too. I mean, he's pretty good right now. You imagine what he's going to be in a couple of years? Right?
They learn so fast. We're watching this progression that's tied into how much they practice, and we're like, whoa.
Yeah, I know it. It's pretty cool. But real quick, Scott, you've got a raffle that's going on now that you've put together, and you're doing a terrific job at it. You've got all kinds of things that are coming in. If you get on Flagpole Productions, everybody too, you can get a hold of the raffle and you can see what's going on, or you can get on the Young Guns website, North Bay Young Guns website, and check it out. But Scott, maybe you tell us a little bit about it real quick.
So all the I've pounded it and I pounded it. We've done a video last week detailing everything really in depth. It's on our page. So if you want to find that page on Facebook, it's right here, North Bay Young Guns. And then this last week,
Love the hat.
yeah, it's a 6X. It's a Stetson. If you know anything about hats,
I got a hat like that, brother.
oh, they're great. Exalt V3 for a mask that came in from Jake Collins this week. We did an unboxing on our page and some other funny stuff. A Hopper case, and Mark Gong got me the mask that he said he'd throw in. It's a JT. It's got a full surround head protection, which you can take off. And then
Yep,
the coolest
right
thing,
there.
the coolest thing that came in this week that I'm super excited about is a Hormesis Play Like a Kid wristband.
Very cool.
And they're hard to come by, and you got to know somebody. And it's just a really rad wristband. We're sending it on with this kit to the kid who gets this kit, and hopefully we get to also get a chance to explain to him what this company means, what they're about, what endeavor they're about to get themselves involved in.
Well, you know, Oliver's a friend of mine. You know, he's got a birthday coming up here pretty soon.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
awesome.
you'll see it. I'll put a big thing out there. But
Cool.
yeah, I was talking to him a couple days ago, and yeah, because both our birthdays are within days of each other, so we thought that was pretty cool.
So we got that. We got that raffle on our page, North Bay Young Guns, YUNG, a giveaway we're doing, which B Paxton is helping us with, September 28th. That's also on our page. And
yeah. And there's 20. I believe you told me there's 26 spots left. They're $20 a spot, correct?
There's 26 slots left. We sold 17 at our pizza night, and then Mark Don came in tonight. It was 5 spots for us, which was really rad, and we appreciate that. And Dom's mom actually claimed that she was going to get the rest of them sold. So she's been helping out a lot with it.
Cool. Yeah, it's going to be a good giveaway, and
yeah,
I think it's going to work real well, and it's going to help the kids out. So
for sure, we're excited to get our jerseys and just keep this machine rolling.
Got it. So Dom, you excited about going down to Florida?
Yeah, I'm very excited actually.
I hear your dad's going down there with you, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. I like. Matter of fact, drag him real quick, just for 1 minute. Drag him out and say hi real quick.
Come on over. He can plug his business. He's a private chef.
I'm not.
Is that right?
He's not cooking tonight.
I'm not cooking.
He brought me a salad.
I just wanted you to say hi to everybody. I want everybody to see who Dom's dad was, because you've jumped into it with both feet, just like Scott has to help your son go, and I think that's absolutely terrific.
Yeah, I don't think there was any water in the pool when we jumped in. It was just straight in. We didn't even look.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, go ahead.
Oh, I just want to say it's been exciting to watch him grow in the last 6 weeks playing paintball. It's just amazing, and being hooked with Scott and the rest of the kids on the team is just phenomenal.
Yeah, and it's just the beginning, my friend.
Yeah,
it's just the beginning. So I am going to say goodbye to you guys. Everybody, the Young Guns or on Flagpole Productions, you guys, there's 26 or I think 21 spots left. Am I right, Scott?
26.
26 left. Okay, 26 spots left. So you guys jump in, and as soon as the 26 spots are sold, the spin is going to happen, correct?
Yeah, and there'll be details about the spin on the page, when we're going to do it, how we're going to do it, and whether or not we come on your show or whether we're just going to do our live thing with it. I'll figure that out. We'll figure it out, and we'll just make it happen.
Sounds good, buddy.
Cool.
Well, appreciate you guys coming on tonight, and Dom, you did a great job.
Good job, Trixie.
Yeah, very, very good job. I had to ask the Trixie thing, man. Scott drilled that in my head too much. I couldn't let it go. So I'll probably see you guys this weekend up at King of the Ranch.
Oh, that sounds amazing. We'd love to see you up there.
Yeah, all right. You guys
Cool.
have a good evening, and thanks so much for jumping on, huh?
Yep.
All right, everybody.
Yeah.
That was Scott McDonald and Dom and his father. Part of the Young Guns group, terrific group. So I am absolutely loving it. Now I have my main guests on here tonight, guys. I a guy I've been waiting to talk to all week. Very hard to get a hold of. Very hard to get a hold of. So I just they have a podcast. Him and his co-host have a podcast, Behind the Mask. So I know I'm very interested in how they got started in paintball, how they got started in their podcast, and where's it going. So let me first of all introduce Eugene Lazos. How you doing this evening, Eugene?
I'm doing all right. I feel kind of like a noob right now because I'm on my phone, which
You look
is
great.
thank you. I mean, I just literally got off a shift from work and I'm right here. My computer's dead. My iPad is dead. My every electronic, even this phone was dead literally up until a minute before I came on with you.
Wait, you know, your co-host must be Dennis because he's over here
Yes.
cracking up in the green room.
My
So
co-host
Dennis
is
must know
Dennis.
you. So, you know, without further ado, let's bring Dennis on real quick. How you doing, Dennis?
I'm doing well, guys. How you doing tonight?
That's
Doing
my-
very good. Yeah, we're looking forward to talking to you guys about your podcast and how you guys got going. But I have another guest, a very close friend of mine, a guy that I absolutely love. This guy, period, cut and dry. You know, and I don't say that maybe to my wife every other week. And you know, this is one of the best guys out there that I know. So please, everybody, I don't know if you guys know him, Dennis and Eugene Budor.
Hey guys,
Oh yeah.
how you doing?
Oh my God.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, what's going on, bud?
Good. How are you tonight?
Not much, man. Good to see you guys. You know,
Oh,
glad to be on the show. Thank you.
Oh, always, yeah. You got the open invitation. You got the open invitation. That's all there is to it. So, but you know, I've been waiting to talk to Eugene, and I talked to Eugene a little bit on B. Paxton's show, and this is the first time I've got to meet Dennis. So, I want to go ahead. Bonchek saying hi to you, bud.
Hey, Bonchek.
So yeah,
How
she's
you
pretty cool,
doing?
huh? I can't wait to have her back on again. She was a pretty good guest. But I'm gonna fire up on Eugene real quick. Eugene, how did you
Yes.
get started in paintball, and then how did you end up with Dennis doing a podcast?
Well, Dennis is now, I would say, become my hetero life partner because we're almost attached to the hip. But so I got started actually. I'm going to go way back because I may not look it, but I'm actually pretty old. But my father
No,
actually
you look it.
he started playing in the 80s with the old, the old Splatmaster guns and everything. And so I got kind of introduced to that through him. And now, fast forward years later till I was 18 when I was able to go by myself. I actually went out, started playing. I thought I was the coolest guy in the world because I went out and bought a gun, and it was a Stingray, the all plastic piece of junk. I was like, I'm so cool. This is $100 well spent. And then I realized, no, it wasn't. And I saw the Cocker, which by this great man down here, Bud, he created that thing. And I saw it, and it was like the gods opened up the heavens and the light came down and I heard the angels singing. I was like, I got to have that next. So bought that, got a team together within a year of me buying it, went to our first tournament, which I played in, oh my gosh, I think it was SE Village. It was a small little tournament that we played there. Did horrible because I'm out there with a Cocker and the other guys had spiders and we thought we were cool. And then we saw the guys coming out with the electric guns and we were just like, yeah, this is. So loved my Cocker, kept it forever, but had to upgrade a little bit to something that had a little bit more speed because I wasn't that fast on the trigger. So then I created paintball, Sunday paintball. Well, somebody else has Sunday paintballs. I created Sunday clothing in 2000 and was it 2007, Dennis?
2000. Yeah, 2007 because it was just before my ex and I got married. So yeah.
Yeah. So prior to that, I joined up with Keebler. This is where I kind of met Dennis there because I joined up with Team Keebler to play my first actual MPPL, which is MPPL Orange County. And they said that, yeah, Dennis is gone. He's not coming back. So we need somebody to fill in his slot. So would you do this? I was like, sure. I mean, why not? So they took me over to where he worked so I can go snatch up his jersey and go play in this tournament. Lo and behold, not too long after that tournament, Dennis comes back and wants his jersey back because he's going to be back on the team. So, we became friends because they actually put us on to the team together, and we started co-captaining their second team. So we were still on Team Keebler, and we did that. Then I started Sunday Clothing, and we were T-shirts and shorts and jerseys, and we were like on our way. I created Behind the Mask, which was our media side, and that was going good for a while.
Well, when did you create that? So now this is something that you created back in the day, and then you took a hiatus, I guess, from it and brought it back. Is that correct?
Well, we were kind of forced to take a hiatus due to certain partners doing some shady stuff. So we kind of had to take a step back. But I also took a step back because I ended up joining service, and here I am almost 13 years later, finally getting back into paintball because I took that hiatus. Had a family, had a kid, and Dennis always loves to tell everybody that our kids are only 2 weeks apart. So that's why I'm saying this is my hetero life partner down there.
Yeah. So how'd you guys manage that? No, I don't want to know. Forget it.
Well, I called him up.
There are some things better left unsaid, I guess.
And plus, it's a family show. So
yeah. I got to really watch it. What I say, I know that when I put the uniform on, all bets are off. My filter gets shut off. So.
Hey, I'm an ex-sailor. I know what you're talking about.
Oh, then there we go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I fight it for an hour every Tuesday night. But anyhow, so you guys had the podcast before you have the podcast now. You had it back in the day already, right?
Yeah, it was.
No.
Well, it wasn't so much a podcast.
Technically, we're in our second year of the podcast now. We actually started recording in mid 2020. Was it mid 2020, Gene? It was during the pandemic.
But prior to that, what we did have was we were going to each MPPL tournament. We actually have somebody out there interviewing the players. We were trying to get the little guy like we're doing now again, but we were just doing videos that went straight to YouTube. And I mean, we had some momentum. We were moving along. We had a lot of guys that completely forgot who we are today, but we had like Rich Telford on. We had
he played on my team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Rich was on Constant Pursuit back in the day. That's the reason I had you on. Is I got to talk to you a little bit on B's show, and I thought it was pretty cool. I thought you you have the right attitude for paintball. And what I like doing on this show is I like bringing people together to because I got a saying. I always say individually we can do a lot for paintball, but collectively we all working together we can do an awful lot for paintball. So that's why I wanted to bring you guys on to introduce my audience to you guys. So hoping that some of my audience will now jump over and watch your show. And I wanted to introduce you to Bud Orr because he's a god. That's all I can say about the guy.
Oh, absolutely. And I was actually
give me a break. I was actually he's a god. Bud God.
I was actually lucky enough to meet Bud at Lin Trong's charity event just this past one.
December.
Yeah, in December. And I got just starstruck. I said, I'm in my head, I'm thinking I'm literally standing a foot away from Bud Orr. And he was talking with a few other people. And so I was trying to be very polite and wait until he was done. And I said, hey, Bud, I introduced myself. I said, I'm with this podcast. And we just kind of wanted to, say thank you for everything and, see if you'd be available to come on the show sometime. And he immediately said, here's my number. Here's my address. Come on out. We'll take a look at the cars. And I could not have asked for a more, welcoming experience. And it was just amazing. And like I say, the whole time I'm just oh my God, this is Bud Orr, you know.
Hey, I've known him 36 years. I still get nervous when I talk to him. So,
You guys humble me, man. You know.
oh, see, I told him to do that. I says, we humble you. You don't talk as much that way. So,
Yeah, he gives out money too. You know, he does.
now, Bud and I go back, what, like 36 years, something like that?
Yeah, it's right around there.
Yeah, Bud and I have been on stage together quite a few times, man. We
Yeah,
both had hair, too.
We had hair then. Yeah. Well, he had more than I did, but I had quite a bit of hair.
You did. I was actually jealous. Yours looked good. Mine was never combed. I always
You know-
looked like I stuck my finger in a light socket or something.
You know,
No, that
it's
was
funny.
me. That was me.
It's funny that after I got off of the show with UMB,
Oh, there you go. There's Bud and I. I don't know which
Wow,
one.
look at that.
That's at the Amateur Open.
wow.
I got my tux on.
Oh yeah. You'd be cool.
Right on,
looking.
Bill.
Oh my gosh. But I actually went back
You're
and
welcome.
watched the history of paintball again because I was like, oh my God, I want to watch this again so I can see you guys back in the day when, like me and Dennis always say, the heyday of paintball, when it was really booming. Like right now, and that's something we talk about on the podcast we always reminisce because we miss those days where we were out there and we were playing and it was in almost getting into everybody's face. You know,
Yeah.
the Huntington Beach, even the Orange County, at the fairgrounds. I mean, it was
Oh, the fairgrounds was
amazing to be
amazing.
out there.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
guys, if you don't talk about it, how are the kids nowadays going to know how all of this really took place? And it's not just teaching the kids nowadays. A lot of us old guys, I have all kinds of people that send me pictures. Hey, Fred, you seen this picture? I did not remember that picture to save my butt. But and so I just think it's great what you guys do, and I think reminiscing. Because there's always a place for the past and there's always a place for the future. And I just think they just all need to coexist at the same time. What do you think, Bud?
I love it. Anything to bring back the past and let people understand where we all come from. I mean, we just didn't appear where we are today. We come from some hard work. And
Yeah, we took some heat, huh?
oh Jesus! I mean, it was.
Man.
I went from making about $1,000 a week to $250 a week. Right instantly when I started my company. So, but
Yeah, we won't talk about where I went from there.
Yeah, but we struggled.
Yep.
I mean, my wife and I talking about it today. But you guys are showing people where things came from, and I gotta get on your show. So one of these
Definitely.
days, if you'll let me. I'm not sure if you let me, but
Oh, we
are
definitely.
you
Oh
kidding
my
me?
God.
I'm your manager, so I'll set that up for you, my friend.
well, no. Fred and I both will be on. All three of us.
Absolutely. You guys are more than welcome to come onto our show anytime. I'll come to your houses if we have to and film there.
Yeah. Anytime you guys want, just on. Bill, Bud, and I would jump on. Believe me.
That'd be fun.
We talk a lot. We're trying to be polite right now because we got you guys as our guests. So, but sometimes it's like our tongues tied in the middle and flaps on both ends. But serious stories. But the reason I had you come on, Dennis, I have to apologize because I did not meet you ahead of time. But the reason I asked your buddy Eugene to come on is because I talked to him for just a little bit, and I'm very touchy about who I put on my show. Okay, I'm not a snob. I like everybody, but some people I like more. Okay, I'll let it go. I mean, if you're good for paintball, I'm in the 100%. If you're not good for paintball, I just don't talk about you. I don't badmouth you, but I just don't want anything to do with you. So I talked to Eugene for just a little bit, and I just liked what he was saying. I liked his attitude. And now I'm glad I met you too, Dennis. I'm glad that you came on here with him too. because Eugene got a hold of me. He says, "Hey," he says, "I got a guy that's much better than me. Can I bring him on?" I says, "Oh, heck yeah, bring him on, man." Okay, maybe those weren't his exact words, but
Well, you know what? When people have talked about us like being on the show, Dennis is like the rock when it comes to paintball because his knowledge of paintball surpasses mine by. He's a walking encyclopedia when it comes to paintball. I'm
Wow.
more of the guy that I'm the pretty face. I'm just like, hey, what's up? I like paintball. And
that's like me
then
and Bill.
I'll go off on a tangent, and Dennis will like, well, paintball. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what. You're right.
Yeah. Every so often I have to kind of rein him back in, but I'm just as prone to going off on tangents because despite the fact that I'll be turning 45 in a couple weeks here, I'm still a big kid. So
Hey, don't come on my show and tease me about age.
Gosh, man, 45. That's old.
I just reprimanded him, bud. Let's let it go.
Well, I was going to run my hand through my hair, but when you guys mentioned hair, I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep my hand away from my hair.
There you
yeah,
go. Dennis, what day's your birthday? Can I ask you? Mine's the 24th.
16th.
16th?
Yeah.
Mine's the 24th, and my little buddy Bud over there, his is the 5th of October.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Nice. Bud, you share the same birthday as my father.
I'll be 27.
He's serious.
You believe that? I got a bridge.
He's 27. He just practiced it 55 times. That's all.
That's right. Bud, is that bridge? That's oceanfront property in Arizona, right?
Oh yeah.
You've been there, Dennis. Very cool. Hit him up for the
Actually,
trip, but now.
I'm celebrating my 39th birthday of my 39th anniversary of my 40th birthday.
Nice.
Nice. Well, we definitely got to have you on.
Let's see, 2, 4, 6. No.
Yeah. Go ahead, take your shoes off, finish it up. A hush falls over the crowd.
Oh, there's Mark. Oh yeah, no, I seen that picture today.
I'm sorry, I was reading what he wrote.
Yeah,
I'll tell you why Mark did that. Is I did a show we shot it right on York Street at MGM Disney back in the day, and it was #1 show on ESPN too. And I had Adidas was our sponsors. So anyhow, Adidas sent me a ton of clothes and shoes and everything, but the pants were all tights. So anyhow, we played with spandex pants on, man. And I remember Tom Kay, he come walking out and he's doing a can. Him and Randy Boucher from Paintball News doing a can singing "Men in Tights." So. But Mark was the only guy that really enjoyed wearing them. So I don't know why he said that on his show. He still wears them to this day. They're just under his jeans. But anyhow, that's a whole nother show.
Because they cover up the pantyhose.
Oh, that's getting deep.
You can stretch a lot better wearing pantyhose.
That is. Okay, well, now comes the hate mail.
Anything for that competitive edge, right? Make you a little more streamlined.
There you go. So you guys, get back to your podcast real quick, because the train kind of left out. Hey, we were on a dirt road for a minute there.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with dirt roads.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. You live on one. I got it. Yeah. No problem. I apologize. And now it's cool there too. It's hot out here. I got it all, Bill. So you guys enjoy your podcast, and I know you guys do your podcast every Monday night, correct?
Yeah,
that's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Last night I tried to link up to it. I couldn't get on. I could get the past podcast, but I couldn't get the live one. Mm-hmm. So maybe you could tell me what was I doing wrong. Bill's going to tell you everything because I'll
tell you what he did wrong. Fred was trying to get on.
I am not a computer genius. Okay, so we'll start right there. But I definitely would like to watch your show, and I encourage everybody that's watches my show right now and will watch it over the next week. I encourage you to check out these guys behind the mask. You hear them right now. You see them. This is what you're going to get when the shows comes on. And
pretty much, yeah.
No, yeah. It's weird that when I came on right now, I almost wanted to do my intro because I'm not used to being the interviewee. I'm always the interviewer. And also I'm always starting the show and I'm like, hey Fred, how's it going? It's not my show.
I seen you winding up and then it's just like stop.
Yeah, it went nowhere. Yeah.
You guys sound like you work pretty good together. I am very, very, very excited now about watching you guys next Monday night. To see how you guys work together.
As Eugene said, I mean, our lives have been very parallel ever since we became teammates with Team Keebler back in the day. You know, as he said, our kids were born 2 weeks apart. We've managed to maintain this very solid friendship, and I mean, I count Eugene as one of 3 or 4 people that I really would take a bullet for. This man's like my brother.
Very cool.
Yep. I can't say enough good things about him because he's genuinely one of the good people in my life. And because of that, I owe him a lot. He's managed to keep me, kind of stable and grounded when I was going through some rough patches. And hopefully I've been able to do that for him as well.
That's what friends do.
Yeah. And so when he approached me, a couple of years ago and said, hey, I've got the paintball bug again, and I really would like to do a podcast, and I want you to be my partner, and I was like, okay. And then next thing I know, he's, oh, hey, I went out and bought a marker. Oh, so did I. So, I mean, it just kind of snowballed from there, but
you guys are interested in pushing paintball though, in a positive manner.
Yes.
See, that's what it should be all about. The podcast reaches a lot of people. We reach, what do we reach, Bill, every week? Probably about 3,000-4,000 people a week, something like that. Yeah. So, and those people are impressionable, and when they hear good things about paintball, it's like anything, guys. If you hear something bad about any sport, are you going to want to go do it? Probably not.
Well, of course not. Of course not.
But if you hear things, you see people getting excited and having a good time and talking about, we did this with my buddy and this with my buddy, you're going to go, you know what? I think I'm going to grab a buddy and go try it myself. Yep. So, that to me is what the whole thing about the podcast do. And it brings people together. You guys are together now with Bill Bailey and Bud Orr. See, now you probably knew who these guys were before, but you didn't get to talk to them.
Exactly. And I mean, don't discount yourself, Fred.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
you definitely pull some weight in this sport. You really do.
Thank you.
Yeah,
yes,
I appreciate that.
I don't know who he is. He's just some guy.
That sold 1 million copies. Seriously.
Hey Dennis, I like how Fred's all like, yeah, we reach about 4,000 people, and I was like, we reach about 3. And one of those was Dennis's mom.
I mean, but here's the funny thing is that as relatively small as we are, we actually have international listeners. So we've got listeners in Germany, we've got listeners in France, I think Sweden.
All 3 of them.
Canada.
We
if
have,
you want to count Canada as international, but
it is. Anything across the border is international. I mean, hell, I consider Texas. Where I'm lucky is they watch this show in 10 different countries.
Oh wow!
Nice.
And what they do is, how we know it is, they chime in. They sometimes they watch it live, but the problem with the show is we'll get more views tomorrow than we get tonight because it starts at 10 o'clock on the East Coast, and overseas it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. So, the next night, boom, that's when we start getting all the views and everything from the show because the people are pulling it back up and watching it. But the reason I wanted you guys on is, first of all, I like Eugene, and now I like you too, Dennis. So I might like you a little more than Eugene. But anyhow, no, I just kidding. But, what I want to do is I want to help promote your show, to help you guys promote paintball. Isn't that right, Billy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we're blessed because we always have great guests, and the viewers are awesome. They're
the best,
very high caliber of viewers.
Yeah, I think they tune in just to see if you're going to go crazy on me. I think that's the reason. But you haven't done it yet.
That only happens in the green room.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Around the diva, it's like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to see him in the green room. He's funny as heck, guys. 2 different bills, So, Bud, what do you think of these guys?
Well, I really like them, man. I think
I knew you
they're
would.
genuine. They're genuine. That's what counts, man.
Yeah, that's why I wanted you on tonight. I wanted you to meet these guys. I'm so glad that Dennis came on. I was so glad that Eugene, asked if he could have his partner on. And obviously, I'd say yes to that. I would never say no to that. But I wanted you to meet him, Bud, because, you're like me and Bill. You got to push paintball in a positive way. And the more friends you have and the more great people you have, the farther and the faster you can go. So I just want to keep giving these guys some plugs.
Yeah, no,
we can't thank you enough for that.
Yeah, there's, you guys are great what you're doing, and I can't wait to get on your show and see what you're doing. I tried to get on it, and I'm worse than our friend up there in the corner because I have zero.
Nobody's worse.
I bought a new iPad. I've been working on it for 2 days trying to figure out how to turn it on. And I did that today. So
this is the guy that builds custom race cars and custom motorcycles.
Right, exactly. He's an engineering genius,
that floats or has wheels or flies. I'll build it from scratch.
But just remember, but always charge up everything now before you turn it on. You have to charge it up.
Yeah, it's got to be plugged in first. Yeah.
Don't do what I did, Bud, where everything was dead right before you're supposed to come on to a show.
Well, I've been there. That's the reason I was laughing. I've been there. I've been on this show where I couldn't even get on it until about a half hour after it started because I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah, and I want to point out we didn't laugh at you
until
you weren't on the screen, huh, Bill?
Yeah,
I did. I laughed at Eugene.
Bill comes to visit me. He laughs all day. So you do what? What do you do?
I love it. Wow, So where do you guys see your podcast going now? I'll start with you, Dennis. Where do you see the podcast going right now?
Well, we've slowly but surely been getting, more of a presence. Our Instagram is probably our strongest platform right now. Although the past 3 episodes, we've been able to take advantage of the live stream. And so much like how, you're reaching a much wider audience, I foresee that being a huge help for us. In terms of where we're going, to be honest with you, right now, I'm just kind of enjoying everything. Eugene's got, he's got big plans for the podcast, and I'm kind of along for the ride, which has been fun. But, I tend to be a little bit more pragmatic, and so I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. However, we do have some things that are, still kind of under wraps. We don't want to talk too much about it until we get some finalization, but we do have some potential collaborations coming up for the show and for Eugene and I that really could open a lot of doors for us. And so I'm really hoping that, within the next year, probably 2 years, we're going to have much more of a presence in the sport itself.
Yeah, I have everybody always getting a hold of me, wanting me to go on YouTube, but I haven't even got on YouTube. The viewers that I get are just on Facebook.
That's
so
amazing.
And we've had as much in 1 week. I think the best week we've had, we crested 10,000 reaches. So
nice.
It was amazing. I can't remember who I had on. Might have had Bud on. Maybe that was it. I don't know. But, I had somebody on we crested 10,000, but we run around somewhere between 3,600 reaches and 5,700, something like that anyhow. So, But that's why I wanted you guys on tonight, because when I got to talk to Eugene, I know how it is when you start out. I've been blessed. When I started out, I've known all of these people for years. Everybody I mentioned here, some of these guys are still my sponsors, and I'm an old guy, and they still want to take care of me and stuff like that. And the guys I get to hang out with, and we have a special team called the Band. And I'm honored to be the captain of the band. Bud's on the band. Dan Colby from Air America's on the band. Tim Schloss from Tiger Stripe Camouflage is on the band. I mean, there's just some terrific people that are on this team. So when it comes to getting guests or bringing people on, they're always more than welcome to jump on and give me a hand. And the whole thing is just to make it enjoyable for people to listen to,
Oh, absolutely.
When I asked you guys, how do you get started in paintball? Not just my listeners, I want to know how you got started in paintball. That to me is a big thrill. I just, that means a lot to me, I mean, when Bud and I started, the markers were made of wood. Remember, had that big rubber thing we'd pull back. It was pretty cool.
It took me about 5 hours to make all the paintballs.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me shoot ball bearings, so I mean, I had to make that.
I love it. So I just that's why I wanted you to come on tonight, and I wanted you to meet Bud, and I wanted you to meet Bill, and hopefully that down the road now, you've got these guys as friends, and hopefully that'll help your podcast. And then the more people that you reach, the more it benefits everybody in paintball, not just us, but everybody in paintball. And to me, that's the ticket.
Yeah,
that's the ticket. If you want to. I had Marcus Davis. You guys know Marcus Davis? He's a captain of the Predators in England.
I know him by name. Yeah, I know him by name.
Yeah, he's a real good friend of mine. And years ago, we were sitting at out by the pool at a motel in England one time, and he asked me. He goes, he says, I'm going to be the Fred Schultz of England, Fred. What does it take? And I told him, I said, there is one secret, and that's just be nice to people. Yeah. When you're nice to people, it comes right back to you every time. And it's such an easy philosophy and something that anybody can do if they have a mind to, But back in the day, isn't that right, Bud? That's the truth. Remember back in the day, some of those so-called pros, these kids would go up to talk to them and they just snub them. It was an absolute joke, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, who the hell are you anyhow, man? To me, you're a nobody. You might be playing on a pro team, but who cares? When you treat people like that, you're a nobody as far as I was concerned. And that's one thing. Yeah. That's what got me started was I went and did Ronald McDonald House things, the charities. And I did my third one, and it was down in LA. And I had this guy come up to me and he asked me, he goes, who's your sponsor? And I go, well, I don't have any sponsors. I'm just coming to play paintball, man, and have a good time and make some money for Ronald McDonald House. Sure. Anyhow, that was Randy Camilla from APG. That's where I got my very first cover shot, was because of that. And why did I get it? Not because I was out there kicking butt on the field, not because I sat and begged. It's because I was doing something to help the sport and help people, and somebody good recognized that. See, and that's the whole ticket to everything. And that's why when I talked to Eugene that day, I knew I was going to put Eugene on the show. Period. Now, I'm glad I met you now, Dennis, too. I think you're a terrific guy. But when I talked to Eugene, I knew I was going to put him on my show. Somehow I was going to drag him out here, even if I had to do it through a second party or something. Somehow I was going to get him out on the show. And Eugene, I'm very, very glad that you came out and did the show with me tonight. I feel very privileged. I appreciate it very much.
No, I think it's more on our side that we're privileged just being on the same chat, the same stream right now with all three of you, which you guys are living down. And it's not just because you guys are older than us, but I mean you guys are living legends.
You're literally paintball royalty,
Yeah, you guys really are paintball royalty. I mean, hearing about what you did at my home away from home, which is Walt Disney World, because I love Disney. Yeah. What you did there and played on, it's like amazing. Bud, what you've done with markers is just far beyond. I mean, it's just everything that all three of you have done is just amazing for this sport that me and Dennis are just privileged to be a part of now, and trying to push and continue to share with the younger generation that's coming up that, hey, I hope this isn't too bad for this language, my language that I'm about to use, but you don't have to be a douche to play this sport.
Yeah.
You can be The absolute most nicest guy. Get out there, wreck people, blast them in the face, walk off, and be like, "Dude, that was a good game."
Yeah,
there you go. That's
exactly.
how it should be.
Yeah.
I preach it all the time too. I say, if somebody's standing on the sidelines watching a game going, wow, do I want to try this sport or not? And they see people coming off laughing and high-fiving and stuff, they're going to want to go try it. They see people coming off swearing at each other, calling each other cheaters and stuff. They're going to go, this is not for me. That's not how you build a sport. You build a sport the way I just said it before that. So Dennis, I want to give you an invitation to bring both you guys back on my show again sometime. I enjoyed very, very much meeting you tonight. So I'm going to let you say goodbye to everybody first. So right off the top, thank you so much for showing up. And I give you an open invitation. I want you back on my show again. So I'll say goodbye to everybody.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for having us on.
Well,
wow,
thank you, Dennis,
for
being here. We appreciate you being on the show, that's for sure. And we like what you're doing, both of you, Eugene and Dennis. That's, my hat's off to you, dudes.
Dennis, I want you to friend me because I'd like to have you as a friend on Facebook. So, just like Eugene and I can go back and forth, I would like to do the same with you. And then maybe somewhere down in the future here, maybe we can all link up and we can do something together again. Not just a show, but maybe something bigger than a podcast. Okay.
Oh, I'd love that. Yeah. I mean, Eugene and I are local to you. We're in Southern California as well. So that's
exactly
easy to set up.
Yeah. I don't hold that against you because in Southern California too. All right, Dennis, thank you again so much. Friend me. I would very much like to be your friend on Facebook, and I would very much like to be your friend, period.
Absolutely. Now, from this day forward, we are definitely, brothers in arms.
I love it. All right, Dennis, you have a good evening.
Same to you. Thanks again.
All right, sir. Bye-bye. Eugene, you couldn't have picked a better guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I can see why you like him. He is very impressionable.
He's genuine in everything. And he is very, welcoming to everybody that comes in. So that's why he's the complete opposite of me, which is great. So we balance each other out.
Yeah.
What town does he live in, Eugene?
He lives over in Placentia.
Oh, yeah, he's not far from me. About 50 miles.
I'm over in Montclair, so I'm not too far either.
No, Riverside. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're all close by.
Yep. All right, Eugene, I'm going to let you say goodbye to everybody. Right off the top, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. And you also, same as Dennis, you have an open invitation. I want to bring you back on the show. And I would like to somewhere in the future link up with you, and maybe we could all do something together. That would be pretty cool.
That would be awesome. Because when Dennis said that I have big ideas, my mind's already shooting like a million miles a minute. We're going to have a whole show. We're going to have tournaments everywhere. I'm already like long ahead of you guys. So I am the dreamer of the two. So I'm glad to have Dennis, but thank you so much for having us on. Bill, Bud, Fred. I mean, like I said, this is like almost like a dream for me come true of being able to be on, talking to you guys, and just being, and it's like almost like I don't even want to plug our own show.
No, do it. I want you to. Oh, absolutely. I'll plug it. Everybody, you're going to want to watch, please, Behind the Mask with Eugene and Dennis, Monday at 6:30 Pacific time. Am I right?
Yes, 6:30 Pacific time. You can catch us on Twitch, on YouTube, and on Facebook. Definitely go on to our Instagram, which is Behind the Mask Media, and friend us there. If you guys have any questions for us, DM us on there. You can even do that on Facebook. Friend us there, and we're really open, and we want to take whatever small teams are out there. And if you guys want to promote, come on our show. We will talk about you guys all day long. And our job right now is to make the smaller teams feel like the pros.
And paintball bigger and better.
Yes, we want to grow it. Like I always say, we want to get out there. We'll drop our money on those small shops counters and drop our money on those fields that are out there, so we can grow the sport. In order to grow the sport is to grow them, and they'll grow us.
There you go. All right, my friend. Well, hang tight in the green room, and we'll talk to you in a minute.
Definitely. All right, Fred.
All right.
All right, guys.
All right, everybody, that was Eugene Lazos from Behind the Mask. Now remember, Behind the Mask, Monday evening, 6:30 Pacific time. Jump on and check these guys out. You just heard how cool they were. Bud, what do you think of these guys, huh? Did I tell you they were cool?
They're genuine, man. I mean, they're
exactly.
honest, and that's what we need.
Yeah,
we
well,
need,
that's who we push, buddy.
we don't need phony people, or I shouldn't say that, but
Yeah, you can.
We
Yeah,
don't need them. But
you're Bud, or you can say
I
anything.
mean,
You know that. Come on.
No, these guys are genuine, down to earth. I feel. That's my opinion of them.
I love you, Bud.
Yeah.
I appreciate you
guys. Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on tonight, my friend.
Anytime, you know that. Anytime.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome anytime. You know that. That's why they call you my big brother.
Even that old red shirt guy back there with a beard. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay.
I thought you were talking
Boy.
about Santa. I got it. You're talking about Billy.
Billy
Okay.
Boy.
It's all coming to me now,
He's been working out.
As you get older, you know how it is. So, all right, Bud. Well, I appreciate it very much. We'll talk to you in the green room in a minute, my friend.
Okay. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right.
Bye-bye,
all right, buddy. Bye-bye. All right, everybody. That was Mr. Bud Orr. Not much to say. Bud Orr is Bud Orr. What do you think, Billy? Were these two guys cool?
Yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah,
sounds like they got a lot of plans. So
yeah, I'm glad Dennis came on. Because I hadn't met Dennis. I talked to Eugene just for a little bit. That's how much of an impression Eugene made on me. Yep. That's why I had to fire. I wanted to bring him on the show because I thought it was pretty cool. He's a good guy. And then next week I'm going to have Mr. Govey. I believe that's his name. Anyhow, he's on the Frontline podcast. He wants to come on. So we're going to have him on next week and talk to him a little bit. But I thought these guys were very entertaining. And I want to bring these guys back on the show again because I just started digging into talking to these guys.
Well, it'll be fun to see what they end up doing. It sounds like they've got a lot of plans.
Absolutely.
And keeps it going. That's all that matters.
Yep. I'll say goodbye to everybody, Billy, and I'll see you in the green room in a minute.
All right, bye.
Cut and dry. Man, a few words. All right, everybody, that was Mr. William Bailey. Great show tonight. I want to thank my guests so much. And most of all, I want to thank all the people that watch my show. Without you guys, I'd probably still do it because I enjoy talking to these people. But I thank you so much, and I appreciate all the great comments that you guys get. And I appreciate you very much for taking the time out of your life to watch this. Now, I know you don't watch as much tonight as you will tomorrow and in the next few days, but I can never thank you enough to my listeners. I think you guys are absolutely fabulous. So please give us a shout out next week, 7:00 Pacific time, Tuesday evening on Flagpole Productions. And remember what I always say, guys, together we make paintball bigger and better. So please, until next week, play hard, play safe, play fair, get out there and play paintball. We'll see you next week, guys.